I was in New York again recently, visiting. My friend Ross had gotten us tickets for a lecture at the Grolier Club, some British expert discussing the great 17th century British architects Wren and Vanbrugh. We arrived late enough to find the little hall filled, darkened to obscurity, to show slides of the buildings, and we had to feel around for the few empty seats. After the talk was over and the lights went back on, the folding chairs were folded and collected, and people stood around talking, while brie and brown bread, flutes of champagne, and crackers and pâté were passed around by small elderly women in long skirts. Assuming I would know no one there, I took in the side wall-windowed displays, all about Henry VIII. The Grolier Club on 60th Street off Madison Avenue, you should know, is one of the very last hideouts of blue-blooded Anglo-Saxon Protestantism in America. Despite the medieval-style painted brick exterior, despite its two-story faux Middle Ages decor within, where Quasimodo wouldn't feel out of place. Mostly, I looked at big old Bibles and many allegedly revered objects of the 16th century Reformation. But among all that, I was charmed to see, scrawled by a childish hand inside the flyleaf of a little sky-blue elementary school Latin reader, "This is my book, Prince Henry." He must have been 8 or 9 when he wrote it. I turned to show it to my friend, but he was at the lectern, having his own newly purchased book signed. Then I spotted several people nearby. One was a teary-eyed fellow, close to 70, with slicked back hair, once blonde, now who knew what color precisely, but dressed in a bluish smoking jacket and parti-colored silk furled tie, indicative of some university or other, with a mustard-hued corduroy vest. He also sported elaborately tasseled oxblood shoes no one wears anymore, that we used to call opera slippers, with soles so thin they're only good to walk from the lobby to the limo. He lumbered forward with effort, his body on a distinct 13-degree slant, head backmost. 2 elderly osteoporotic women, one in a wheelchair, another in a floor-length black sweater, awaited him, and meanwhile tried not to stare at me, as though they knew who I was. He at last reached them. One said a few words, and he half-turned, looked at me through those little Caribbeans of eyes, and greeted me with a nod. The women managed shy smiles. I did know them, I realized, from 35 years ago or more. All of them used to come into Rizzoli Bookstore, just several streets away when I worked there. None of them very regular customers. They would come in a few times a year for graduation or family birthday gifts, or whenever a new book on their topic came out. Portuguese faience, Egyptian scarabs, East Indian tomb paintings, scrimshaw carvings, prize-winning yawls, Netsuke, Inyo, or for that matter, 17th century British architecture. We were sure to have it in stock. We specialized in having such books upon our shelves. Everyone knew that when you were looking for the very latest and most expensive volume on an unusual arty subject, Rizzoli was where you shopped. I went over to say hello, thinking we'd all speak about the bookstore, but one woman stopped me immediately, laying a refined down-to-skin-and-bones hand upon my jacket sleeve. "You're so distinguished-looking. Will you be lecturing here soon, too? May we hope?" Lecture there? Me? At the Grolier Club? On what subject, I had to wonder? The overuse of analingus as a metaphor in second-generation post-Stonewall poetry? No, I didn't think so. I've grown up now, and I no longer shock for the sake of it, especially not people as fragile-looking as this trio. I merely smiled and stuffed myself with brie and bread, and was joined by my friend Ross, who was in a cheery mood and hungry for steak dinner. We were soon having a good French bistro meal nearby. After that, we walked down late-night Fifth Avenue, midweek Manhattan, past the new, I think of it as the pseudo, Rizzoli shop, down past the older one, the real one, the one I remembered so well, now Bendel's, and I explained to Ross where everything once had been.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.